I wanted to start today reminding us of a story. You may know about the man, a relative unknown. He works into his 30s. Then he shifts his focus entirely and gives up everything to try to save his people. He suffers scorn and betrayal, and he makes the ultimate sacrifice. He's killed, standing up for his ideals. But I don't want to talk about Gandhi today, or Jesus, or Martin Luther King, or the thousands of other women and men who have come before. I want to tell our stories. I want to talk about our suffering and our sacrifice and what they mean. Now, to be clear, I don't want to tackle the theological question of suffering. I'll leave that to another UU on another day. And I'm also not trying to equate our suffering and our sacrifices with the kind that might start a religion or a social movement. But that's not to say that our stories are any less important to tell. Our stories are varied. We come from different places, different traditions. We were teachers and computer engineers, nurses, actors, community organizers, and everything in between. And then we came here. And here we share, or will share, experiences particular to our calling. We'll learn about the authors of the Bible. We look inside ourselves to learn how we can help others. We meet in small groups, we talk about our spirituality, and we reflect on how all of this learning and growing is changing us. And we accrue tens of thousands of dollars of debt. We stop eating out, or we should. We move our families, and we move away from them. We lose sleep. Our cars know Route 128 so well they could drive themselves here. I get 3 gray hairs. That won't go away. We spend 15... Okay, just 3. I know. Still, I didn't have them when I came, okay? That's Thank you. We spend $1,500 to spend our summers in the hospitals. And we become buried in a mounting pile of dirty dishes and to-do lists. We suffer, my friends. The questions that I ask you now are questions that I ask myself all the time. How much suffering do we need to do, and is it worth it? What do you do when the night before your systematics paper is due, your partner says, "We never spend time together anymore"? Do you say, "Can we talk about it later"? Do you admit to Mark that you didn't start it until that night? No. You struggle to be present to your partner and respond to his feelings. And even though all you want is a hug, you muster the strength to know that's all she wants too. And you give him one. And you fall asleep on your keyboard that night, and you hand in something a little less than your best, and you hate every minute of it. There's no way you can be all you need or want to be. Maybe it isn't worth it. And you've got high energy weeks coming up. Your parents are coming to visit, and your daughter's got the flu, and you're feeling a little achy, and you have to preach on Sunday, and can you believe that you have a flat tire? And you just can't take another incomplete. And did you call your friend back? Have you ever had a week like that? If you haven't, I don't wish it upon you. And if you have, well, you're here. You survived it. But is survival the silver lining? Is survival what makes it worth it? Feels like a cruel joke. It's a paradox that's explored in hundreds of illustrations in the sacred texts that I could insert here. But I'm telling our stories today. And what we have here is a community of peers who understand the important lesson that we are not alone in our suffering. We spend a lot of time masking our doubts and concerns. We smile convincingly and enthusiastically report to interested congregants that seminary is just the most wonderful, perfect, amazing experience. We convince our professors professors that really boring book was great. Almost that. And we convince ourselves of this too. We can't tell that little old lady that we didn't have time to start the sermon until that morning, or that the compensation from the congregation hardly pays for gas. But here, we can tell each other that.